You always hear horror stories from smaller producers accusing bigger industry producers of stealing their beats. And those are hard stories to really substantiate because most of the time, a smaller producer doesn't have much knowledge about the music business. They don't keep receipts. They don't keep written records. They don't fully understand the music business, so they're not able to articulate what went on. And a lot of them, simply put, are just afraid to speak out against producers they perceive as bigger and more powerful in the music business. But what happens when music industry producers, famous producers, rich producers accuse other rich and famous producers of stealing beats? Shout out to Producer Culture. They posted a couple of clips of bigger producers and bigger rappers speaking on specific instances of alleged beat theft. I've talked, a lot of industry producers have done this. A couple have done it to me. You'll see why I look like I'm ready to laugh, because this is a hilarious situation. Let's just jump right into it. Appreciate you checking out the new podcast. The link to the new podcast channel is below. You can watch all our full episodes there. Thank you so much.
But Shy Money didn't make Wangsta. Another producer made Wangsta.
And we can't rob a nigga for a beat.
Yeah. The nigga.
So this is one of those stories. Everyone kind of knows this story about a producer by the name of Jay Praise, who actually made the beat for Wangsta, which was 50 Cent's first hit single ever. And it ended up on a bunch of albums, including the 8 Mile soundtrack and Get Rich or Die Trying as a bonus track. Someone said in a comment, the producer didn't get jerked, something about he didn't want to sign the unit. I honestly don't know what the actual facts were about that arrangement.
It happened to me one time.
This slide, there are 2 more slides. They're all very short. This one is near and dear to my heart. I'll explain why.
Being transparent, I was working under DJ Mustard at some point in my career, early in my career, and I did a record and I gave it to Mustard. Me and Mustard ended up not working with each other anymore, but he went and reproduced the record and it was a sample. So it was able for him to take my idea and hook and kind of like sell it to Meek Mill, which turned into Whatever You Need featuring Chris Brown and Ty Dolla $ign. But I didn't have no leverage at the time, and I'm assuming that Tiffany probably felt like she didn't have leverage in those situations, but I continued to work hard and I'll never forget it. Like we at the ASCAP Awards and like I win for Meek Mill Dangerous with Meek, and they like, Meek, come back up here again. Whatever you need, we got to give you this one. I'm like, but at that point I had the leverage, so I just called Rock Nation like, yo, can I get my publishing? Can I get this? We end up working it out.
So that's interesting to me, because if I just switch the names around and instead of Mustard stealing a beat from Hitmaker and put Hitmaker stealing a beat from DJ Pain 1, it's damn near the same story minus winning the Grammy. You know, I don't want to relive that story or relitigate anything. It happened. This was many, many years ago. I was very angry at the time. Now, not really. I would probably work with Hitmaker again, if I'm being honest, just because why hold on to grudges and what do they say? Cut off your nose to spite your face.
I don't know. If people steal from me, I'm not working with them again.
So Payne, do you look at it differently because, you know, you feel like to some extent it's kind of just victim of the culture? Like it happened to him. It's kind of just, it's just kind of a practice that's passed down, or you're just more mature now. It's water under the bridge. Like, why? Look at it.
It's more water under the bridge. My thing is, all right, rob me. You can do whatever you want. I'm not a moron, you know. So if I work with someone that steals from me, it gets handled. That's what I think was funny about Hitmaker telling the story about Mustard, what Mustard did. And then later on, when he had leverage, he went over Mustard's head to Rock Nation to get everything handled, which is exactly what I did when he took my beat. And he was mad at me. He sent me a long email being mad that I went over his head to Republic Records when he did the same things. That's why. So it's kind of funny. And I think you're right, Dame. It does point to a cycle of abuse. But in his case, I'm pretty sure he did that to me before he was working under Mustard. I don't think it was like Mustard did it to him and then he did it to me. It was like he did it to me and then Mustard did it to him. And I don't sit back and say, oh, well, that's karma, because I don't personally believe in karma. I think karma is a reflection of our own energy. So karma is more of a self-imposed thing, not something that the universe hits you with. And I don't even think it was karma, because look at Hitmaker. He's one of the most successful A&Rs out there, at least of the last 5-10 years in the hip hop and urban pop space.
Just to make things clear for the people listening. So when you say he stole your beat, did he replay a beat that you sent him, or he took the actual beat and put his name on it?
The latter. He took the actual beat, put his name on it, negotiated with a label, and assigned all of the ownership to himself, signed a producer declaration where my name wasn't anywhere on it. And then again, I don't want to get super deep into the story, but that's what happened. And then my management had contacts at the label that released the song. And rather than him just say, all right, cool, you got me, let's move on, he was mad about it and we never spoke again.
So his name should be like Hit Stealer, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, hit taker. We could do
Hit taker.
we could make it a little, but it's one of those things where like he's working with a lot of producers that I like, and I'm happy for the opportunities he's giving them. It's just, I think I could have handled that situation more strategically when I caught him doing what he was doing. I just was sort of in blackout mode then, where, I was coming off a lot of situations where people were stealing from me, and it all stemmed from working with one. No, I can't even blame Sarah J for the stuff that happened with Two Pistols. So no, but there were just a lot of situations that put me in fight or flight mode. So I was choosing fight every time and just wanting to fight everybody. And it's human, but it's not great. This is what's funny about it. It sounds like even when the stuff went down with Mustard, I don't hear him bad mouthing Mustard, but of course he went on to be super successful. They're all super rich. Mustard's probably doing better than him financially, but at that point, who cares? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But compare that to what happened in the clip where Tony Yayo was talking about Jay Praise, and someone made the comment that Jay Praise, who produced Wankster, decided to keep his publishing. So I don't, there are holes in this comment. If this is true, I have a problem with it. He says, Jay Praise didn't get jerked. Sha Money wanted his publishing if he became a G-Unit producer to get more placements. So I guess, that sounds right. Maybe like you sign a deal and they take a cut. The producer decided to keep his publishing, which earned him at least $1 million or more, but was cut from being an in-house producer. I always felt he made the right choice. That producer went on to enlist the same lawyer that successfully sued Robin Thicke and Pharrell and their labels over the Blurred Lines song on behalf of the Marvin Gaye estate. It was because Cat Dahlia released a song called Gangster that interpolated not just his melody, but also 50 Cent's lyrics. I don't know too much about that case. I'm going to do more research. I just found that out within the last 5 minutes after reading this comment. So I'll give you an update if I find anything. But I know the song, and it is very clearly directly inspired from that track. So I have my opinions. I feel like if you're a producer and you have this single if I had produced 50 Cent's first hit and then had an opportunity to sign to G-Unit as an in-house producer for that whole, decades long run where every artist was dropping hit after hit, and I said no because of the publishing split. Look, it's a gamble because maybe Wankster's the only hit single you ever produce and you take a 50% cut on the underlying composition. And so you could have made $1 million and you make $500,000 and the rest goes to Sha Money. But think about all the other opportunities. But maybe those other opportunities, they're all theoretical. So maybe you don't get any more hit songs with G-Unit. I just think, I don't know. What would you do in that case?
I don't know if there's any, like you said, it is a risk that you take. I don't think you can give just blanket advice. I don't know Sha Money. I haven't heard the best things. It just depends on.
I love Sha Money, by the way. I had great experiences with him.
But it just depends on the relationship that you have. I would definitely get a lawyer involved. I would talk with people that maybe are familiar with people that are a part of the negotiation, and just see how comfortable you feel in that environment. It's hard to just give anybody advice from a podcast and you just say, okay, I'm going to apply that to my situation. There's just so many different variables. At the end of the day, that's what education is so important. But then, it might just be gut, what's your gut telling you at that point. Once you equip yourself with the information, you have the conversations. At the end of that, what is it your gut telling you? What's your heart telling you? And just kind of lean into that.
Yes, I agree with you. Like, listen to your gut. Don't be desperate, but don't be greedy. So I think Like, I have a artist friend who just asked me to negotiate a deal for 2 songs. One is his full song and a way bigger artist wants to cover it. And then another is a song that he had written. And then that artist was like, hey, I really like this verse in the melody for your hook. Can I have this? And so like now we're in the course of negotiation. And when they were just emailing him, they were like, hey, we suggest this, this, and this. And he just had this gut feeling. He was like, I don't know enough about this. Let me hit Aaron. And so I just asked him a couple of questions. I was like, okay, so are we talking about masters or are we talking about publishing? And he was like, I actually didn't even think about the master rights. I'm like, yeah, you wrote both songs. Both of them are out. Granted, if you want to be treated as a songwriter on the second one where you just wrote the melody for the hook and the verse, that's cool. But you definitely own the master on the one that is a cover, right? And so then I hit the team. I'm like, hey, so what are we looking at percentages wise for the master? And they're like, oh, hey, can we get on the phone? That was a gut instinct from an artist who doesn't know enough to say, I could make a lot of money off of this. His thought process was just, I want to make sure I do myself right in this opportunity, because moving forward, if this way bigger artist is using my music and I get credited properly, there's a chance that something could come of this.